Hello and welcome to episode 109 of Learn, Do, Become Radio. I'm April Perry, and today we're talking about how we're going to make this year our breakthrough year. I recently reread Michael Hyatt's book, Best Year Ever, and right at the beginning of the book, he says, "Consider what a truly breakthrough year might look like for you." Now, just the idea of that got me excited, and I thought, okay, I'm going to take really good notes, and then I want to share these notes with our community. Now, if you want to see the show notes where I have it all written out, that's at LearnDoBecome.com/episode 109. Now, overall, I've put together a synopsis of 10 concepts or suggestions that I loved from the book. But I'm only going to cover 5 of them today, and then I'll go through the remaining 5 next week in the next episode, so you don't have one super long podcast to listen to. And then throughout this process, I'll be taking you a little bit behind the scenes of my own life, simply because I think it's helpful to hear how other people apply what they read, and I'm hoping that this will help you gather your own insights. Now, if you're brand new to Learn, Do, Become, we help people who are drowning in the details of their personal or professional lives to create simple systems so they can do what matters most. Now, what you may know us for is we teach people how to build a command central. We call it our STEP system, Steps to Everyday Productivity. I love having a command central, and I love teaching our tens of thousands of people in our community how to actually do it. And I'm so happy that you're here to be able to learn that it's not just about organizing, but it's about what we're actually putting on our lists. What are our goals? What are the projects that we're going to spend our valuable time on? And how are we going to create strong families in the process and live strong, healthy lives? Those are some of the things that have been on my mind. So welcome if you're new, and we're so grateful you're here. All right, so I want to begin by inviting you to define what a breakthrough year really is for you. Initially, I thought, it means our family will get along beautifully every day. Our business will be more successful than ever before. I'll be in amazing physical shape. I'll feel happy and energetic pretty much all the time. And I'll basically become the perfect person. Okay, now while the tone of our family, business success, physical fitness, mental health, all the good things of life are important to me, after giving this quite a bit of thought, I've decided that the way I'll know if I've truly had a breakthrough year this year is if I can answer these 2 questions in the affirmative every day. I actually posted these on the back of my bedroom door, so I see them morning and night. And while your questions will most likely be unique, and these questions of mine will definitely adapt over time to my specific needs, I thought it might be helpful to just share the ones I'm thinking about right now. So question number 1, do I feel healthy, happy, relaxed, and aligned with God? And question number 2, have I fulfilled my purpose deliberately, doing one day's share? Now, I could go into all the stories and psychology behind why I chose these questions, but instead I'll just say that when I can answer them both with a genuine yes, it feels like everything else falls into place. And that includes things like the closeness I feel with Eric, the joy I feel with our children, the level of faith I'm working to develop, and the sense of progress I feel as I work toward my goals. So now, if you're ready, I'm going to review the first 5 of the 10 suggestions or concepts that I've loved from Best Year Ever that gave me really good food for thought. And as a little aside, if you're thinking, well, what's Best Year Ever and who's Michael Hyatt and why do you like this? So michaelhyatt.com, that's his website. I have followed him for years. He's like an online leadership mentor. And he has written a lot of books. He's had podcasts I followed for a long time. Eric and I actually got to meet him in person. He had a whole program called Best Year Ever that Eric and I helped promote a couple years ago. And so he's just been an online mentor and a leader that I've admired for a long time. So anyway, he wrote the book and I loved it. And I knew I wanted to kind of reread it this year. So I did, but I got all new insights this time. So that's why we're doing it. Okay. So number 1 of 5 for today. Identify which areas of your life need the most support right now. Now, the book outlines 10 different areas of life, and I have a little screenshot, a little picture on the show notes page if you want to check it out. He also has a whole life score assessment you can take. I also linked that at the bottom of our show notes page. So if you want to see more about how he does it, then that's a great way to do it. But I'll just list what his 10 categories are. So he has financial, spiritual, intellectual, emotional, physical, marital, parental, social, vocational, avocational. Did I already start with financial? I'm reading through a circle. Sorry. Okay, I'm not even going to bother pausing to go back. I just was going to keep going round and round. Okay. Sorry. I got this comment. Someone said, "Can you please stop laughing so much?" They really don't like when I laugh. I'm so sorry. So sorry. Probably don't listen to my podcast if you don't like me laughing. Okay, we're going to keep going. Okay, so as I'm looking at those 10 categories, I can see personal room for development. Sorry, no, I can't stop laughing. Okay, I did just have to stop that podcast so I could compose myself. My children downstairs are probably wondering, why is Mom belly laughing up in the podcast room all by herself? Okay, we're going to keep moving forward. But here's the thing. I want you to know that I'm a human being sitting here, just me, recording the podcast, team of one right now. And sometimes it's just funny, okay? Life is just funny. So we're just going to laugh and we're going to roll with it. And I will try not to laugh too much. Okay, so what I was trying to say is I can see personal room for improvement in every area. I have a lot of weaknesses. But here are the 6 that need the most focus from me right now. So number 1 is physical, because I've had way too much sickness this past year. You've probably noticed there have just been huge gaps in the podcast because I literally have not had the energy to record or to write or to think. I was in bed for a few months, mostly in bed. I could still manage, but I think maybe that's why I'm okay laughing because I am grateful to feel healthy, and having a strong, healthy body is a gift. And for anyone who's gone for any period of time not having one, you understand that. So right now I'm finding I have to put a lot of energy into nutrition and exercise and hydration and rest and breathing, de-stressing, all those things. It's not an option anymore. So physical is first. Second is emotional, because I apparently have a lot of hidden emotions I didn't know about. Goodness, I keep thinking I've discovered all of my reasons why I get stressed. And then I realize there's deeper stuff, beliefs I have, things I'm trying to change. Nothing terrible. It's not something I can just put my finger on, but emotional is definitely a big category for me. Third is spiritual. Because when I prioritize connection with my higher power, everything else just feels easier. And I should add, these aren't really in any particular order. I mean, all of them could have a reason to be the top priority. But the 4th on my list is marital, because Eric's my best friend and I want to invest in our relationship and not just assume we'll be okay. Because when I'm married to my business partner and we're trying to raise our family together and we're building a business together and we're managing life together, all those things, there's a lot that goes into that. And I want to make sure I'm connecting with him every day. And we're trying to plan more just little overnighters, just a chance to get away because we haven't really traveled due to the pandemic. And so anyway, marital is next. 5th is parental. Even though things are going really well with our 4 children right now, we've made, I think, some big strides in raising teenage boys. I'm actually feeling pretty good about it. But family matters most, and I feel like that they need a constant investment. You can't just check parenting off your list. And then 6th on my list is vocational, because the vision of what I want to create here at LearnDoBecome, it is pulling me forward. I woke up at 5 o'clock this morning and my brain had all these different ideas. I'm journaling and I'm making vision boards. Super excited. And it's becoming more painful not to pursue it than it is to get over the fear of pursuing it. You know what I'm talking about? So anyway, those are the 6 areas that I'm actually setting specific goals in this year. Okay, so that was concept number 1, or suggestion number 1. Identify which areas of your life need the most support right now. So maybe you can just think about that list I just read, or you can go look at the circle image and see why I was going around and around. It's on the show notes page. All right, suggestion number 2. Get over the limiting beliefs. So I've been working on these for a long time. It feels like too long. And I have a post on LearnDoBecome that goes deeper into that process of limiting beliefs versus liberating truths. It's actually from when I did the Best Year Ever program the first time. So I think that was a few years ago. But I will link to that post at the bottom of the show notes page as well. And again, remember, it's learndobecome.com/episode 109. So for now, though, here are 2 great quotes from the book Best Year Ever that I highlighted. So first quote, "A limiting belief is a misunderstanding of the present that shortchanges our future." Oh, so good, right? Okay, next quote. "Many of the circumstances that seem to block us in our daily lives may only appear to do so based on a framework of assumptions we carry with us. Draw a different frame around the same set of circumstances, and new pathways come into view." Isn't that beautiful? That's from Rosamund Zone and Benjamin Zander. So just a couple of thoughts, like change that perspective, get over those limiting beliefs. So a few weeks ago, I got out a sheet of notebook paper and I identified 13 limiting beliefs just in the vocational category. And reading through them, I sound like the biggest pessimist in the world, saying things like, I don't have very much to offer, I shouldn't dream about XYZ, creativity takes too much energy, the world is doing just fine without me. I mean, I had like this vision that when you walk into an office supply store, there's a whole section where you can buy your STEP Command Central materials, and it's organized by function. Because imagine if you didn't just walk in an office supply store and just see like all these random things. People just go in and buy random things. They don't even know what they're going to do with it. What if there could be instructions on how to build a Command Central, and then there'd be like a little, hey, put this QR code into your phone or scan this QR code, and then you can be taken to a new video series. It's going to teach you how to use a Command Central. I mean, I have all these dreams that make me so excited, but in my pessimistic mind, I'm like, oh, that's so dumb. Why would an office supply store ever want, me to help them set up their Command Central station? I don't know. But really, I think it'd be super profitable. So if anyone owns an office supply store, just reach out and we can chat. Okay, but sometimes when you actually see your limiting beliefs written on paper, then you realize all the lies you've been believing. So if you're going to take action on anything we talk about in the podcast today, don't skip this part because this one is really, really good. Until you've identified it, you just don't know what you're dealing with. Okay, suggestion number 3. Identify how you can become a more abundant thinker. So the book has a great chart. If you're holding the book right now, it's on page 37. But here are 3 ideas that stuck out to me as far as how I personally can increase the abundance in my mind. So first, assume I can learn, grow, and develop. That's just like a baseline. When I think, oh, I can't do that, or that's too hard for me, or I don't know how to be a strong enough leader, or whatever, I need to change that assumption and just say, hey, I can learn, grow, and develop, right? That growth mindset. Okay, second, be optimistic about the future, believing the best is yet to come. Optimism is a skill. This is not something that you have to be born with, but I love that goal to be optimistic every day and think, oh, it's just going to get better and better. And then third, think big and embrace risk. Because, okay, going back to my little office supply dream, okay, that would be hugely profitable for office supply stores if people knew what to buy and how to use it. I bet people would buy more from them. Also, the companies who make those products, they would sell better if people knew, well, why do I need a tickler file? Why do I need support cubbies? Ta-da, that would be awesome. Plus, it would help all the people who went to those stores because now they're like, hey, thanks for guiding me so I don't just buy a bunch of stuff and get home with colorful carts that just sit there or things that hang on the walls that do nothing. Because raise your hand if right now you have some office supply sitting in your house that is just full of papers. It's like everyone raising their hand, right? So I think that we could revolutionize the world. I have that dream of a Command Central on every desk. But the basic idea is if we think big and embrace risk, I don't think we're going to regret it. Now, I don't know if you've heard of the book Finding Flow, but it is so good. And this is one thing I learned from it. One cannot enjoy doing the same thing at the same level for long. We grow either bored or frustrated, and then the desire to enjoy ourselves again pushes us to stretch our skills or to discover new opportunities for using them. Okay, that quote is amazing. So essentially, if we want to avoid boredom and frustration, and who doesn't want to avoid those things, becoming a more abundant thinker isn't really optional. Trying something new is hard, but so is living with boredom and frustration. That's actually why LearnDoBecome exists, because we believe that this growth and becoming is central to living a life of excellence. Moving on to suggestion number 4. Identify what's not there. You may have heard this quote before about Steve Jobs and his gift as described by his wife, Lorraine Powell. She said this: "He saw clearly what was not there, what could be there, what had to be there. He imagined what reality lacked, and he set out to remedy it." Okay, I love that. Now, you may have heard the analogy of seeing this space on the bookshelf. Imagine that all the ideas, information, and advice out there as books on a bookshelf. So where is that space? Where is that gap in the collective intelligence of the world that is waiting for you, for your experience, your insights, and your gifts to shine through? Because I believe that there is a space or many spaces on that bookshelf for each of us. And there's no limit to how many of these, quote, books can be created. It's actually a really powerful exercise to sit down and identify what you uniquely have to offer, even if you can't always see it right away. I've been working on this for a few weeks now, really trying to hone in on that thing that I want to say with my life. I actually had a lot of time when I was sick to just sit and think, and so this is what I've been thinking about. Now, as of today, if I were to try to sum it up into one, kind of long paragraph, it would sound something like this. I am here to help mothers, or those with mother hearts, who want to feel excited about their lives, prioritizing family, and using their unique talents. I show them how to get out of the overwhelm, and then I offer encouragement and support so they can finally attain what they've been hoping for. Hope that they won't always feel exhausted. They'll be able to laugh and enjoy life again. Their family relationships will be a source of happiness and meaning. They can wake up excited and go to bed content. They'll thrive financially. They won't be anxious all the time. They'll be able to walk around the house and breathe, knowing that everything is clean, organized, and taken care of. They won't be afraid to discuss things that are hard. They'll have the physical, mental, and emotional energy they require. They'll actually have time to think. They won't feel alone. They will be able to bravely accomplish their dreams. They won't have to be the martyr. They won't have to carry the world on their shoulders. They can design a life consistent with their values and purpose. They don't have to be successful in the way everybody else says they do. They can rise to become who their higher power knows they can be and wants them to be, and they'll know that they matter. And I know everybody here isn't a woman or a mother, and I'm hopeful that my efforts will help a broad group of people from all walks of life. But I know at my core that one of the unique reasons that I am here on this earth at this time is to care for those who feel that they have a direct stewardship to care for others. That has been in my heart for more than 20 years. And as I look at that purpose statement that I just shared, all those things I listed, those are things where I have struggled or where I'm still struggling. But my hope is that as I build this community and open my heart to share what I've learned and also bring in others who can help us all, that I'll also put myself in a position where I can receive the strength and encouragement and support that you have to offer. I don't see this as a one-way thing. Eric and I don't think of it as like the April and Eric show. We want this to be a community where we all learn together. All right, moving into the final suggestion for today, number 5. Depend on your higher power to help you with the resources you have and the resources you need. This quote from Martin Luther King Jr. touches my heart every time I hear it. He said, "Lord, help me to accept my tools. However dull they are, help me to accept them. And then, Lord, after I've accepted my tools, then help me to set out and do what I can do with my tools." It's beautiful, don't you think? And if your belief or understanding of God is something different than what I believe, I hope it won't stress you out when I talk about these kinds of things. My goal here is to be honest about what I personally think and feel, but I'm not here to tell you how you should think and feel, so I hope that makes sense. I got an email the other day, actually, from a woman who was telling me that she appreciated the podcast, and she said, one thing I just want to comment on is that I, personally, I'm not religious, but I don't feel like I don't belong when I'm hearing what you have to say. I think I'm quoting that poorly, but I was grateful that she could see that I would be talking about things that I believe in, but she knew that I was glad she was here, and I am. And if you're listening, so glad you're here. Okay, so going back to that quote by Dr. King, I've noticed that once you accept your tools and start using them, you then start receiving more tools and sharper tools to facilitate your work. And then others join in to help you. And then sometimes, in the small moments when you least expect it, you find that your tiny contribution was put to use as what I refer to as an instrument in the hands of God. And those are the messages that I receive that mean the most to me. When someone tells me how our programs or podcast or something that we created came to them at just the right time and was accompanied by an assurance from above that they were not forgotten and that someone was watching out for them. I love those experiences because they remind me that the work I'm doing is not about me. So I hope that these ideas have been helpful for you today. Make sure you come back next week for the next 5 featured ideas. Super excited about those. And you can find out all the ways to connect with our email updates, social media channels, podcast, YouTube channel, etc. at LearnDoBecome.com/connect. We actually just created that page, and it's now a menu at the top of our website as well. So you can just click on that or just go to /connect, and you can get the link to our free Facebook group. We have more than 10,000 members in there. We're so happy and so excited. We have, just a short list of links, but if you want to find us in a variety of places, that's the best way to do so. Okay, and your Learn, Do, Become challenge. Take some time this week to review the 5 ideas or suggestions in this post. If you are interested in taking Michael Hyatt's life score assessment, that's linked on the show notes page. I want you thinking about your limiting beliefs and how you can become a more abundant thinker. And I want you to take some time, brainstorm the ways you could fill a gap in that bookshelf we talked about. And along the way, if you believe in a higher power, I encourage you to trust that new ideas and insights will come to you. Okay, it's been so great being here with you. Again, our show notes are at LearnDoBecome.com/episode 109. And if you're still thinking about all those office supplies I was talking about and you want to find out about our STEP program, LearnDoBecome.com/STEP is where you can take our free introductory class. Okay, so excited. Have a great day. Thanks for being so patient with my laughing, and we'll see you soon.